Yeah.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Oh. Wait a minute, here.
Yeah.
How is that? How is that background? Is it boring? Wait
Well,
a minute.
seen all your wine.
Oh, have you? Okay. Wait a minute, let me just move that like that. Let me see if that works.
This is what people like, you moving the stuff. There you go. Perfect.
Oh, sorry. Wait a minute. Let me sit on the stool.
Sure.
I was trying to make it low so that you don't see all my wrinkles, but
right.
Let me see.
Okay.
How is that?
Would you prefer to be off camera? Okay.
No. Oh, wait a minute. No, here, try this.
A few moments later.
Shall I sit on? See what I'm like?
No more moving. No more moving. There'll be no more moving.
All right.
Yes, you've picked it. You've picked your seat. Now you must sit in it.
Yeah, I just don't want this to get uncomfortable.
Well, would you? I mean, is it time to pick another seat?
I think I might be happier. Do you mind?
No, I don't. No, but
maybe I tell you what. Perhaps Andrew could edit this bit out.
I think this bit is key to the episode. I'll be honest.
The seating arrangement.
What the hell is happening? Are you crawling?
Yeah, well, it was a little footstool I was sitting on.
What a crazy idea.
A few.
How's that?
Holy shit! The episode's almost over. So how do you feel?
Was that a nice? Is that a nice background?
Mom, we have no choice at this point to go with this.
Okay, are you sure?
Yes, we're not changing again.
All right then. Can you see me?
Yes, we can see you.
All right. Okay.
This is the sort of stuff you normally have knocked out of the way. You're dark now. You're too dark.
Oh, wait a minute then. Okay, right. Well, I'm ready now.
Really?
Are you ready?
Am I ready? You know, actually, wait. Hold on. I've got an idea. I want to try. Oh, sorry. Oh, excuse me. Is that better?
Doesn't look any different. You don't look any different.
Good Lord.
You just scoot up a bit so that it's lighter.
God.
Why does it go dark like that, do you think?
Well, the background is way too bright.
Ah, I see.
Ah, yes.
And that's surprising.
Mum.
I've dropped a photo. Just a minute. Right, I've got the photo now. All right.
I wonder if I can still watch.
I'm ready.
Oh, are you? Are you ready now?
I think Andrew might have to cut all that out. Do you?
I think he'll edit it into something great.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's got potential for greatness.
Well, it does. You were on your knees and then you crawled up a chair like a snail.
But Andrew's quite clever, isn't he? So
yes, he's very clever.
He might make something.
Why don't I start the episode by talking?
Yes, you just.
It's been a little meandery so far. Not really had any direction. Sort of like being in a car without a driver, you know? And it's speeding and it's careening and speeding. And then you look and you go, oh, nobody's steering. That makes sense. That's what I was feeling, was that nobody was steering. Well, hello, Mummy.
Yeah, hello, lovey. All right.
Hello. Yes, I'm good. We have 5 minutes left in the episode. So I thought what we could talk about today is my recent trip to stay with you.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. The dick up at the yes.
Yes, I didn't think you'd want to do that, but I'm excited.
I do. I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
So I came for a visit.
Yes.
It was not easy. I got turned away from my first flight.
Yes.
I went all the way to the airport, and then they told me that my negative COVID test had to be given within 72 hours of my last flight, which was almost impossible. So then I just booked it. I went to Seattle for 3 days and then flew directly to come see you that way. And then we had a reunion.
We did, but I think you should point out that you only misjudged it by 3 hours.
Yes. Well, it's hard to get a negative COVID test in the time frame. Whatever, though. It worked out. So I came. You picked me up at the airport. We had a lovely drive back. You stopped for a coffee. I couldn't do anything because I had to be under quarantine for about 6 days because of the early release. But then, so we basically just hung out. Did you enjoy the trip? I did.
And I think the other thing you should say is that you were visited by the COVID police on the Sunday.
I was visited by the COVID police, the Gestapo.
On the Sunday.
They came to check on me. A guy knocked on the door and wanted to make sure I was there, and I was, and then he left. So, I mean, it is crazy because it's so much more than what the US is doing. I mean, the UK is still not maybe doing the greatest job, but it is so much more than what the United States has done. So, but it was lovely to stay with you. So I'm going to maybe talk through some highlights and some observations. But maybe the first thing we should do is, should we just talk about the Asparagus Bounty first? Now, that is separate to my trip, but you have recently just really crushed it in the asparagus department with the glean.
Oh, it was, we're going tomorrow actually again, because
You got to re-up.
yes, because I've given 2 lots away, and I've had it about 4 times myself. I've still got half a bowl. Do you want me to go and get
asparagus Robin Hood? Yeah, sure. Why don't you bring some of the asparagus?
Not much left though, but I'll show you.
Just bring a spear.
Oh, no, I'll bring the bowl because
Okay,
right
bring a bowl of asparagus.
It's ready for me tea.
Sure. She's really been gone a lot this episode, so.
No, here, look.
Oh.
Now you see, there isn't much left.
No. Oh my God.
That's just a very small proportion. It was about 4 times that amount.
So you're the Robin Hood of asparagus. You've been doling it out to anyone who needs it.
Yes, and I'm going to meet my friend, ex-sister-in-law Biddy on Sunday.
And you're going to bring her asparagus?
I'm going to take her. That's why Hillary and I are going picking tomorrow. Because yes,
you mean stealing?
Well, I don't think it's very interesting because I heard.
Are you about to convince yourself that what you're doing is not theft?
Yes.
Proceed.
Yeah. Well, anyway, you sound like the judge.
Well, someone has to.
I heard on the radio that apparently
that people they hate having asparagus. They consider it a weed.
No, that they're having a job because of Brexit to get pickers, because the Brits aren't much good at picking stuff.
Right.
And anyway, the one thing that came up was asparagus farms, and this bloke, his analyzation, is that the right word, of the situation is that he thinks that a lot of British homegrown fruit and veg farms will go because they can't get pickers. So really,
okay, yeah.
Well, Hillary and I, that's what Hillary and I thought, we could be pickers.
Yeah, but for yourselves, like, these are people who pick for others, who pick for the society around them.
Well, no, because I think we could go and do it. The only problem is that once the 2 of us were down, we'd never be able to get up again because we're both so old.
We saw your skills earlier when you were going stool to chair. The idea of you two being pickers would be like having the mob manage a bank.
It would be like we'd been released from a care home.
You two would walk out like you were in big fat suits going, well, we didn't get that much today, but you'll see our baskets. Excuse us, pardon, excuse us, excuse me, pardon.
You really, honestly though, it's so funny when you start to pick, you can't stop. You know, we go along the line and you just can't stop. And we both keep saying,
call that a problem.
Well, Hillary and I always say to Hillary, well, she'll say to me, I don't want any more. And I say the same. And then Hillary always says, and with what I'm going to pick on the way back, because, you know, as you go down the troughs, you pick on the way back as well.
So you're just kind of Pac-Manning through these fields?
They're not really fields, they're troughs. They're like sandy, soily troughs that you go through. Yeah, we've got really good at it, but it's
a shame that I was not able to experience this while I was there. I just was not. I was in quarantine for so long, and then we just never were able to do it. What?
You forgot to say that when you first got here, I'd taken a risk on my own in the field, and you had some.
I did have some of your contraband, yes.
And you understood why we took it.
It was really good asparagus.
It was so beautiful.
It was very beautiful. That's better.
Yeah.
Turn it that way because that's better lighting.
I'm just bringing this a bit closer.
Right, that's way better. No, it was really good. And all you did was boil it.
Yeah,
it's just magic. It's a magical spear.
It's so fresh. And
some people are calling you Britney Spears because of your asparagus theft. How do you feel about that?
Oh, don't they mean British Spears?
Well, punched up Pamela.
But but I think because we've had so much rain, it's quite sandy, so it's quite hard washing it. But
I'm sorry,
I
your
know.
free asparagus takes too much work. Oh,
Yeah, my poor little hands are quite sore from washing
Sandy. Yeah,
washing my stolen asparagus. But
sure.
it is lovely. I've had it every night since I've taken it.
Has your pee stopped smelling?
Yes.
I
Yes, it
found when I
does.
eat a lot of asparagus, eventually the smell stops.
It does.
So
It
you're
does.
deep in the game.
No,
It's
no,
called
no.
asparagus.
I think it's so fresh that you just sort of get a couple of peas that smell of it, and then it's just pure again.
That it's just agave from the gods.
It's just beautiful.
Oh, yes, of course. Yes.
It's the best wee in the world.
Oh,
yeah.
yes, we.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyways,
fantastic. Yeah, so
so
well,
that-
we're all very happy for you and that your piss is stabilized and all that. So that's great.
That's a little.
Now, let's talk about what was your favorite part of the visit? Because I have mine.
I think it's hard to pick the best.
Well, when it comes to asparagus, you find it very easy.
I loved the walk. I loved.
So let's talk about the walk. So we took a couple really long walks. One day we walked into the city, and then the other day we went for a long walk through the country. Now, the thing
Yes.
about you and walks is
Yes.
you say things like, well, we'll just do a couple of miles.
Yes.
And then what happens?
Well, I think unfortunately on that walk I did with you.
No. Then what happens?
Well, I walk too far, don't I?
We go like 6 or 8 miles because you say just a couple of miles, and then we go 8 miles.
I misjudge it. I've been good though since you've gone. I've tried to really
You've gotten
be
better.
more realistic. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So you stick to your plan, because going for a walk with you eventually becomes like, are you lost?
Yeah, I know the one night I did like when your very nice friend sent us some wine, and we had some chips.
That was
The
a
chip
nice night.
shop.
We had a lovely dinner.
Yes, and
We
it
had a
was
lovely
chips.
dinner and chips.
What did we have with them? Can you remember?
I had a vegan burger, and we made the avocado. We made the breaded avocado.
That was beautiful,
It
wasn't
was
it?
lovely. It was a lovely
Yeah.
meal. It was a lovely meal we'd had.
And we did it in those panko breadcrumbs, didn't we? You were the sous chef. Well, I was more the sous chef, you said.
It was 2 sous.
Yes.
And it was lovely. Well, I enjoyed all those times. I also enjoyed the night when we got to go out to a dinner.
Yes.
And we got to go out to a dinner, and it was outside, and they said to us, it's outside, it's England. It had been pissing rain the whole time I'd been there. So they were like, bring blankets, and it was covered, it was like in a tent sort of situation. And we had a
Yes.
lovely meal. But the things I enjoyed were that you said you didn't need a blanket, and you sat down. And how many minutes would you say until you asked me to go get a blanket?
Probably about 5.
I'd say about 3. And so about 3 minutes after we'd sat down, you were already freezing, and I had to walk a mile back to the car to go get your blankets like a toddler.
And my sister.
And what?
And you had to get one for Hillary,
I brought back like 5 just so I didn't have to go back again.
just in case.
Just in case. And but then it was very cold. I mean, it was like a great night, but we were all sort of sitting around going like, oh, it's just so nice to feel like you're normal again, and it's just great to have a meal. It feels like society is returning.
I think it was a shame there weren't patio heaters, don't you?
Yes, one would think, but we got through it. That was
Yeah.
probably my highlight. Well, that's a good segue, because I do want to talk about the climate of the outside and the climate of your home. You enjoy keeping your home, I would say, meat locker levels of cold, right? Is that what you're doing? You're just trying to store shanks in a living room or something?
I try to not be too extravagant with my heat.
No, it's not being extravagant. You try to live without heat in England.
Yeah, it was particularly cold while you were here, wasn't it?
Yes, in your house.
And it's freezing now. I've got the
Yes.
heat on.
Well, that's crazy. But so when it comes to your heater, you are not fucking around. You do not like when the heat is on. You do not want the heat on. That's probably why you didn't like Beverly Hills Cop, because the heat is on. But you really do not like using heat.
No,
On a level that everyone finds baffling. Even your sister, who was also, raised to believe that, a bone was something that a child could digest. You were both raised in this strict, poor household, and you have just carried that into your life with the heat. You hate the heat.
well, I don't like the bill.
You hate the bill, but you would rather suffer than pay a little bit more for heat.
Well, I just put a few more clothes on and a blanket. I have a blanket.
Yes, well, that's what I wanted to talk about, were your solutions. So I would like the heat on, and I would put the heat on sometimes, and you would, is the heat on, with this sort of edge to it. Did you put the heat on? Oh gosh, up to 15, which I could see my breath.
One day you put it to 60.
Yeah, 16, because it was freezing. I was dying. So your workarounds are what? How do you, like, let's say I'm a guest at your house and I'm cold. What are you going to do to help me? Obviously, you're not going to put the heat on, but what are your suggestions going to be?
Well, I've got a fire in here.
Sure, you've got a little fireplace. So get close to one thing. That's one of your solutions.
Yes.
What's
and
another?
I do put it on if I've got guests.
Sure, but what are your other workarounds?
Oh, well, I like a hot water bottle and a blanket.
Hot water bottle and a blanket.
Yeah.
Those are two of your bigger solutions.
Yes, I like those.
I would be freezing. I would wear 2 pairs of socks the whole time I was there. And then at times when I would say I'm freezing, you would give me a blanket and you would give me a bottle of hot water.
I keep it in the box.
Yes.
So I was able to tell you where the blanket was.
Yes. And then give me a hot water bottle. Now, what year do you think the hot water bottle was invented?
It's awful, really, because I can remember the stone hot water bottles.
What does that mean?
They were made of stone. They were like
What?
they were grey, like a beige, shiny stone. And I can remember those. So and I would have been very young when I remember that.
I don't understand. How did it work?
You just fill them with water, and they were a stone.
Oh, I sort of see. I'm actually looking at it. Yeah, I see it. It's really weird.
Yes.
So it was like it had a lid almost, and then you'd put water in it, and then you'd put the lid back on it.
Yeah. So I can remember those, and then.
They were invented around 1875.
Were they?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think for a long time, and then I think the rubber hot water bottles came in. I don't know when, but I do remember having those.
You said this is enough technology for the rest of my life. We've got a rubber water bottle, and that's what you use.
I do still use one. Yes, I do.
Often.
Well, I do at the moment because it's cold, but I've got my heat on tonight.
But Mum, you're bragging about having the heat on.
Yes, yeah, I am, aren't I?
There was a night where Nigel came round. Oh, and Nigel and I were both freezing. It was freezing outside. It was freezing in your home. What did you decide it was a good time to do?
Well, I could feel my face going red.
What did you decide it was a good time to do?
I decided it was a good time to open the patio door.
Both the patio doors and get some fresh freezing air in the place.
I thought we needed a bit of fresh air because my face was burning.
We were dying. I mean, we were iced.
Yes, I think Hillary said it was cold too. We didn't have it open for long.
Because everyone was like, "What are you doing? Please stop this."
Just enough to change the air,
Yeah, we all felt the air change. It went from 0 degrees to -10. Okay, so all right. So and then let's also remember there was the one night, because I was working while I was there. So I was working nights until about 2 a.m. And there was the one night when I accidentally left the heat on.
Oh, yes.
And that was, to you, an egregious mistake.
Oh, I'm so glad I woke up.
Yeah. You woke up
realized
and saved the day.
I was hot.
Yeah.
And I came down and turned it down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when Hillary and I took you down to London, to see you off. And when I got back, you'd left the bedroom light on.
Yeah, that was also a major point of contention for you. Yeah,
Oof.
just really wasting money.
Dreading my bill.
Yeah, I can only. Well, you'll probably be fine because you didn't have anything on.
It'll
while I
reflect
was there.
light. Yes.
Sure. Okay, well, the heat was a big talking point for me. Light in the room was another thing I wanted to talk about, because obviously I remember that you were very upset about that. We also watched a lot of Four in the Bed.
Oh, yes.
Which is a great English show. It's a great study of the English, where
Yes.
it's 4 couples or individuals or partners who run bed and breakfasts, go and stay at each other's bed and breakfasts, and then rate them. And it's got a game show element, and someone at the end wins. And it is just the greatest show. And Channel 4 now has like its own app, so you can watch endless amounts of Four in a Bed.
Non-stop.
It is the greatest show, right?
And I have to tell you something, actually. When I popped round to see Anthony, your uncle, my brother, last week, and he said, have you ever watched Four in a Bed? He said, it's one of the best programs.
It's the best.
And he didn't know. And I said, that's so funny, because Andy had already told me that he watched nothing else but that. Anthony, the same.
And me.
And you.
Love
yes.
it. It is the greatest show.
Yes.
So it's just like someone shows up and then they go in the room and then they are like, oh, they've got a bit of dust there. And then they're like, I don't like that the toilet seat doesn't move properly. And
what about the lady with the sausages?
And there was this lady who everywhere she went, they would have a traditional English breakfast, and she'd have a sausage and she'd say, oh, my sausages are better than these. And then she just kept going on about her sausages every visit. And then when everyone got there to eat her sausages, they were like, yeah, they're pretty good.
But they weren't.
They weren't never stopped talking about your sausages good.
No. And she didn't win, did she?
She
did win.
She did win.
Because we wanted that nice lady with
we wanted Anne.
Yes, or Amy, was it? We wanted the nice lady. Abby.
That was it.
We wanted Abby to win, who had the glamping.
She had the glamping, and then we also have decided we're going to go stay at one of these places.
We're going to go and stay at Abby's.
No, not Abby's. It was a different one. We're going to.
Oh, was it a different one?
Different.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then that also segues us into the game shows. We watched a lot of game shows over there.
Yes.
What would you say is the best one?
Well, I really like Richard Osman's House of Games, but I love the one we watched together, the
Chaser.
And it was a different one because
it was
it's all
the
of the
chasers.
And that man won 100,000.
That man won 100,000.
And he was a nice.
Well, then I've started doing a little, because I'm doing stand-up in Minneapolis this weekend, so I'm in my hotel, and I've also started talking about one of the facts we learned on that show, which I just simply cannot get over.
What was that?
There was a woman who was on, and she was asked, on average, how many teeth is an English person?
Yes.
And the options were 2, 4, and 7. And you and I both said 4.
No, I said 7. I got it right.
Well, okay. And it will settle down.
Excuse me.
Settle down.
I know the English mouth.
Here we go. What the hell? Yeah, put asparagus in it. So, and the answer was 7. 7 teeth.
7.
It sounds like someone with a lisp saying 17. 7 teeth.
17. Yes.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes, it is. But I'm not at all surprised.
Now, the thing, because I posted about this, and there were some people who were very upset with me slandering the English name. But they pointed out wisdom teeth, which, okay, I would say on average, I would guess not every English person gets their wisdom teeth taken out, but maybe you get 4. That's still 3 teeth. And I would bet that most people don't get their wisdom teeth taken out.
No.
Why is the dentistry there so archaic?
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
You've got nice teeth. Do you just have naturally nice teeth?
I was really lucky because I know, I think I told you this, when we first got to America, well, when we first moved to Milwaukee, we had a dentist and he said that the worst teeth he saw were the Japanese, the Germans and the British.
Right.
And he said that he couldn't believe I was English and I had such good teeth. I was very, very lucky, touch wood. I was born with good teeth.
Why do you touch your head when you touch wood?
Well, because that's what you do, because mine's made of wood.
It just seems like a very oh, you've gone.
Way of doing things.
Oh, you went for a second.
Okay.
Yes, but okay. So you touched wood.
Yes, yeah. And wait a minute. The other thing we loved to watch was wait a minute, there was another. Friday night dinner.
Oh, we watched a lot of Friday night dinner.
And when I went to Anthony's, he said not only did he love Four in a Bed, he said, have you ever watched Friday Night Dinner? And I said, absolutely love it. I said, Gareth did too.
Yes. Well, we loved that. We loved those shows. We loved all that stuff.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean, we really didn't do too much, but it was lovely to see you. It was a shame to go. It was not easy to go. It was it was very, very sad. It's hard to say goodbye, but it was lovely to see you. Now, should we end this with any pictures? It sounded like you had some pictures.
I actually fished out a few. I wasn't sure whether.
Well, I want to do the episode. Oh, good Lord. Okay, go ahead.
I didn't think we'd ever done that.
I don't. Why would we have not done? Oh my Lord, that is just. I mean, what was it like to have a ginger helmet for hair?
You'll have to answer that question.
Look at that. Why?
I thought your hair was lovely.
I bet you did. You also liked Oasis.
I did. Okay, then there's a little bit of a theme here. That's you with your brother.
Oh, yeah.
And thumbs up.
Yeah.
And in a tiny little tent.
Sure.
And then I found that one of you doing thumbs up.
Oh yeah, that's a good. That's a great picture. Oh my Lord.
So funny.
Oh Jesus.
Do you want me to carry on?
Yeah, if you got more, yeah.
Okay. And then I found that one of Nick. I just thought it was so funny. Everybody should see your brother's really long curly hair.
Oh my Lord, look at him.
Yeah. Doesn't he look funny?
Yeah.
And then this one I thought was nice because Chris Russ is on there, and
but nobody knows about that.
No,
but Mom, what?
But he was so good to you.
He was, but it's off topic. We should just keep it to the people. But I would like you to get one picture off of your wall of pictures.
One picture off my wall of pictures. What, right now?
Yeah.
Okay, which one?
You know the one.
Do I?
Yeah.
Give me a clue.
I'm big.
Oh, that one sitting at the table.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. We'll end on that.
But just one more. No.
Oh my Lord. Oh, that's Louis. That's my angel Louis.
Yeah.
And yeah, I had an aversion to sleeping in my bed for so long.
Yeah, you did. You used to sleep.
I slept on the couch always.
You slept out, and you're on the itchy couch.
That wasn't itchy. That's nice couch.
Oh, that's nice couch.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. That's itchy couch.
Itchy couch went.
Yeah, we've talked. I don't know if we've talked about itchy couch on here, but itchy couch was this couch that for some reason you guys kept forever, and I was born into it, and it was just this horrible couch that was so itchy and just sucked, and it was just our couch.
And they filled it with straw. It was done with straw. It was really peculiar. Let me go and get that picture.
Okay. Yeah, itchy couch. Oh, you're still here. Yeah, we had itchy couch for 10 years. And then I think someone eventually said, this couch is horrible. And everyone was like, it's a nightmare couch. And then we got rid of it. And then we got nice couch, which was the couch that I was sleeping on, which you guys just saw. Now this picture I feel like will be worth it because it is, I don't know. You go through phases, right, Mom? Would you say that? Like your weight fluctuates and sometimes you're not sure, but then go ahead, throw it up.
Yeah. Well,
This
I mean,
was one where I saw this and I go, I can't, I don't remember this. I don't remember at one point looking like I was in a pie eating competition. But
but
hold up.
I was quite big when we first moved to America because I think
For
we've said this
you.
before. We couldn't pass McDonald's without stopping and having a burger because we didn't have them in England.
So you were,
And we all put on weight.
so because of the novelty?
I think so. Yeah, we just, like it was, and we'd only, there'd only be the little thin burgers, but I think we ate them all the time. We
Little
loved
thin
them.
burgers add up. All right, let's have a look.
Okay.
Boom. Linebacker. Ooh. Just, and why is that on your wall? What is it about? Do you just put that on your wall for comedic effect?
No, I like the picture. I like
Well,
it.
let's also talk about the wall of pictures. When I got there, Nick was
Yeah.
all over the wall of pictures,
Yes.
and there was not one of me. It's
Yes,
bullshit.
yes, but the reason was I told you.
I don't
because-
care for your excuses. You had 15
No.
pictures of Nick up and none of me.
Yes, but every time we'd do a PAMdemic and you'd say pictures that are appropriate. So I'd just go to the wall and I'd
You'd go to your
rip
great
off
wall.
and forgot to replace them. But then the one morning when you went down, I'd gone down.
Oh, you'd
really early.
overcompensated.
Yeah, I overcompensated. Now the wall's full of pictures of you.
Well, what a nightmare.
Yes. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
lovely picture session. Lovely
Yes.
to speak with you.
Yes. And you.
We had some
and
good times.
we did. We had a lovely time, and you're going to come back, which will
Yes.
be lovely.
I'll come back. Yes.
Yeah.
Much to love.
Yes.
Oh, and someone else yesterday said again how they love watching these because they didn't have a mother for a while.
Oh.
They love it. They love it.
Oh.
So you're a
That's-
lot of people's fake mother. So I know that's a big stage, but why don't you leave some imparting motherly words to the people?
I will. Let me think.
Something really prophetic and profound.
Profound.
Yes.
Yes. Well.
No pressure, but this is your way of sort of delivering to all these people who,
Yes. Well, if you have a mum, go and give her a hug.
Okay, that's pretty
And
good.
if you don't,
Yeah.
if you don't, hug yourself
Okay, pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good.
or high five yourself.
Yeah, sure. Look, can we see the high five yourself one more time just to make sure we got it? Lovely.
Is that right?
That's
Is that how you
great.
do it?
You know what it's a lot like? I'll ask Andrew to end with this. Andrew, can you cut in the Brendan Fraser clap?
This my shit.
Brendan Fraser did this clap at the Oscars that people just found hysterical for some reason. All right, Mom. All my
Okay,
love.
darling. Yeah.
Oh,
and
this is
you.
what I was going to say. Is that
Yeah.
you now you can't say pandemic. You can only say PAMdemic.
I keep forgetting.
So you'll be like, oh, it's been so tough in the pandemic. You sound like an
Yeah.
egomaniac.
Yes, I do. It's terrible. I don't think people are looking at me like, blimey, what's wrong with her?
Well, they've probably got asparagus leaking out of your pockets too. Oh, everyone enjoy the pandemic because you're asparagus soon. All right, Mom. Love you.
Okay, darling.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.